Let me start with something most men don't want to hear. Women can become obsessed with a guy even if he's not the type they thought they'd ever like. That's right. Not every obsession starts with looks, money, or being Mr. Perfect. Sometimes it starts with how you make us feel, how you understand us, or even how you handle yourself when things get real. And honestly, most guys completely miss it. They think being attractive or charming is enough. It's not. Not even close. Here's the thing. Women are complicated, yes, but not in ways most men imagine. We respond to energy, confidence, and emotional intelligence more than anything else. You could walk into a room looking average, but if you carry yourself with a certain vibe, one that's authentic, playful, and a little unpredictable, you'll capture attention in ways you didn't think possible. It's subtle, it's psychological, and it's completely under the radar. I want you to really understand this because it changes the game. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about understanding the triggers in women's minds. What makes her curious? What makes her want to know more? And what makes her feel a pull she can't explain? That's where real attraction starts. And it's the kind that sticks. By the end of this video, you're going to see why some men, women can't stop thinking about, aren't the best looking or richest. They just understand certain truths, and they act on them in ways that make women feel something unforgettable. You're going to learn what those truths are, how women really think, and how to make her obsessed with you, without playing games, without trying to be someone else, and without being perfect. Let's get real about what actually works. 1. The power of unpredictable confidence. Confidence isn't just about standing tall or speaking clearly. It's about carrying yourself in a way that women can't ignore. And the real magic happens when your confidence is unpredictable. Not reckless or arrogant, but unpredictable in a way that keeps her curious about what you'll do next. I remember this guy I knew. He wasn't strikingly handsome, and he didn't have a huge bank account. But there was something about him that kept women, including me, thinking about him long after we met. One moment, he'd be completely focused and serious, talking about his work or plans. The next, he'd surprise everyone with a playful joke or a spontaneous idea. It made him fascinating, because you never really knew what to expect, and yet it felt authentic. Women are drawn to men who seem secure in themselves, but aren't rigid or predictable. Predictability is boring. It signals that there's nothing deeper to discover. But when a man is confident in his own choices, his own rhythm, and his own life, while still keeping a little unpredictability in how he expresses it, it creates tension that women notice instinctively. It's subtle, but it works like a magnet. We start paying attention because we want to understand him, figure him out, and see how he responds to different situations. That curiosity naturally grows into obsession because it triggers both emotional and mental engagement. Part of unpredictable confidence comes from knowing your value without needing constant validation. Women can sense when a man needs approval, and it's a turn-off. But when a man owns his space, sets boundaries, and doesn't over-explain himself, it signals self-respect. That's attractive. It doesn't matter if he's not what society considers perfect. Women are drawn to the energy of self-assurance more than looks or status. Confidence combined with unpredictability tells us that he's comfortable being himself, which is rare and magnetic. Finally, unpredictability isn't about manipulation. It's about living authentically and embracing your natural rhythm. It's about being playful, spontaneous, and a little mysterious, while still being genuine. Women notice when a man moves through life with this kind of balance, serious when needed, light-hearted when appropriate, and fully engaged in the moment. That combination keeps us interested, makes us think about him often, and creates a pull that's hard to resist. A man with unpredictable confidence doesn't need to chase attention. It finds him naturally. and that is one of the most powerful ways to make a woman obsessed. 2. How women respond to emotional energy. Here's the thing most men don't realize. Women feel energy before we hear words. It's true. You can say the right thing, tell a perfect story, or make a witty joke, but if your energy doesn't match, it falls flat. Women pick up on confidence, calmness, tension, or nervousness instantly. We sense when a man is carrying a quiet strength versus trying too hard. That's why some guys can be average looking and still have women thinking about them days later. It's the energy they put out that sticks. Women are also incredibly intuitive about emotional stability. If you can handle yourself in high-pressure situations without panicking or overreacting, it signals security, and security is attractive. That doesn't mean being stoic or emotionless. It means being aware of your feelings and knowing how to express them without losing control. When you can manage your energy, it makes us feel safe to open up, to be playful, or even to tease. And once a woman starts associating that sense of calm, confidence, or fun with you, she starts seeking it out more and more. Another layer is the emotional contrast. Women notice the shifts in your energy. When you're calm one moment, playful the next, or serious and then spontaneous, it creates a roller coaster that keeps us interested. It's not manipulation. It's simply understanding that human emotion is attractive when it feels natural. Predictable behavior can make interactions boring, but subtle contrasts in how you carry yourself make us curious. We start analyzing, thinking, and wondering about you, which is exactly how obsession starts to build. Lastly, the way you react to our emotional cues is huge. Women send signals, sometimes subtle, sometimes not, and your response determines whether we lean in or pull back. If you mirror energy, show attentiveness, and maintain your composure while responding with charm or interest, it makes us feel understood without you even saying much. That feeling of being seen emotionally is addictive, and it creates a magnetic pull. Men often overlook this, focusing only on looks or charm, but energy and emotional awareness are far more powerful in creating long-lasting intrigue. 3. Why challenge is more attractive than comfort. Here's a truth that might surprise you. Women are naturally drawn to men who challenge us, not men who just make everything easy. Comfort is nice, but it doesn't spark obsession. I can think of times when a guy was too available, too agreeable, and honestly, it became boring fast. But the man who sets boundaries, has his own life, and isn't afraid to disagree in a respectful way, that's magnetic. It makes us pay attention because it signals that he's not going to be controlled or easily won over. Challenge doesn't mean being rude or playing games. It's subtle. It's about showing that you have standards and expectations for yourself and for the people you spend time with. Women notice when a man doesn't just go along with everything we say or do. That push and pull dynamic, when done naturally, creates intrigue and fascination. We start thinking about him more, wondering what he's really like, and wanting to see that confident edge again. That's where obsession begins, when a man isn't predictable or completely easy to figure out. Another piece of this is personal growth. Women are attracted to men who are striving for more in life, who have passions, goals, or hobbies that they pursue independently. It's challenging in a sense because we see that there's depth to him, something beyond surface-level interaction. When a man is ambitious, confident, and focused, we can't help but notice. We start valuing his time more, seeking his attention more, and yes, thinking about him more often. The challenge comes from his independence, his self-respect, and the subtle sense that being with him is a privilege, not a given. Finally, the emotional challenge is critical too. Women are drawn to men who can handle intensity, who don't shy away from real conversations, who can sit with discomfort, and who bring stability in a world that's often chaotic. When a man can stay calm, make smart decisions under pressure, and maintain his boundaries while being emotionally present, It creates a sense of respect and admiration. That combination of challenge and presence is irresistible. It makes women want to be around him, think about him, and ultimately become attached, sometimes in ways they didn't expect. 4. The secret signals women actually send. Here's something most men completely miss. Women are constantly giving off signals, and not all of them are obvious. We might touch our hair, laugh a little louder at your jokes, or find small ways to linger in your space. But it's subtle, almost subconscious. The truth is, these signals aren't about testing you or playing games. They're our way of showing interest, curiosity, or even attraction without saying it outright. Men often overthink or misinterpret them, thinking a woman is disinterested when, in reality, she's just giving you a gentle invitation to notice her. One of the most important things to understand is that timing matters. A woman might respond warmly one day and seem distant the next, and it's rarely personal. Our moods, our environment, and how safe we feel with you all play a role. If a man can read these small shifts without panicking, over-texting, or trying too hard, it creates a quiet tension that women notice. That tension keeps us engaged because it feels natural, not forced. When a man is attentive enough to notice subtle cues but confident enough to remain grounded, it makes us feel understood, and we naturally start thinking about him more often. Another aspect is that women appreciate men who can interpret our energy rather than just our words. We might joke or flirt indirectly, and a man who picks up on it demonstrates awareness and sensitivity, traits that are far more compelling than charm alone. This isn't about decoding a secret code. It's about paying attention and responding in a way that feels effortless. If you can reflect our energy back, maintain your composure, and show curiosity without overcomplicating things, it makes us feel seen. And when we feel seen, we start to develop a stronger emotional pull toward that man, sometimes faster than we expect. It's crucial for men to understand that women respond to authenticity more than perfection. We notice when a guy is genuinely himself, even if he's slightly awkward or imperfect. Trying to guess what we want or over-polishing your behavior rarely works. But noticing a woman's signals and responding naturally without pretending to be someone you're not creates connection. That connection is what sparks obsession, not fancy lines or over-the-top gestures. Women want a man who can notice, understand, and react in a way that feels effortless, confident, and real. When you do that consistently, she starts thinking about you in a way that's magnetic, sometimes without even realizing it herself. 5. Making her feel seen without saying too much. There's something incredibly powerful about making a woman feel seen, and most men completely underestimate it. It's not about giving compliments every 5 seconds or over-explaining yourself. It's about noticing the little things. The way she lights up when talking about something she loves, the way she hesitates before saying something personal, or even the tiny changes in her mood. I remember one night when I was talking about a project I'd been working on, feeling unsure if anyone really cared. He didn't say, "Oh, that's impressive," in a flat way. Instead, he leaned in, asked a few thoughtful questions, and genuinely listened. That small shift made me feel like I mattered, and I started thinking about him in a way I didn't expect. Women crave that acknowledgement because it validates who we are without pressuring us. When a man notices our emotions, our effort, or even the subtle cues we give off, it creates a sense of connection that goes deeper than words. You don't have to solve anything or fix us. Simply recognizing what we're experiencing, with quiet interest, a playful tease, or a thoughtful comment, is enough to make us feel valued. That feeling of being seen is addictive because it's rare. Many men ignore it entirely, which is why the ones who do it naturally stand out. It's also about balance. You want to show attentiveness without smothering. If a woman senses that you're trying too hard to be her emotional support or constantly seeking validation from her reactions, it can push her away. But when you notice, respond appropriately, and maintain your own presence and boundaries, it makes her feel safe and intrigued. That safety, combined with a subtle, genuine interest, creates a pull that women can't easily explain. It's instinctive. Finally, making her feel seen doesn't require grand gestures. It can be as simple as remembering a detail she mentioned once, sending a message that acknowledges something about her day, or matching the tone of her energy naturally. Women respond to attentiveness that feels effortless, not calculated. When you can do this consistently, it builds a sense of trust and attraction that goes beyond surface-level charm. The woman starts thinking about you more, anticipating interactions, and genuinely enjoying your presence, which is exactly the kind of emotional obsession you want to spark. 6. Why your presence matters more than your words. Here's a truth most men don't get. Women notice presence before we notice anything else. You can say all the right things, send the perfect texts, or tell the funniest jokes, but if your energy isn't right when you're around us, it falls flat. Presence isn't about dominating a room or acting larger than life. It's about being grounded, confident, and fully engaged without trying to impress. When a man can walk into a room, interact naturally, and make people feel good without needing validation, women feel a pull that words alone can't create. That pull is what sparks real curiosity and attraction. Women also respond to consistency in presence. It's not about being predictable or boring. It's about reliability in how you carry yourself. When we feel that you're emotionally stable, attentive, and confident over time, it builds trust and admiration. That doesn't mean we want you to be rigid or robotic. We notice when you can stay composed in unexpected situations, handle tension with ease, or laugh at yourself when things go wrong. That kind of grounded presence is magnetic because it makes women feel safe to open up, explore their feelings, and even challenge themselves emotionally around you. Another key point is nonverbal communication. Women pick up on tone, body language, and subtle cues long before we consciously register what's being said. Eye contact, posture, a calm tone, or even a slight smile can convey far more than elaborate explanations. Men often underestimate how much these signals matter. If your presence communicates confidence, attentiveness, and genuine interest, it ignites curiosity and keeps her thinking about you after the interaction ends. In other words, what you do silently often matters more than what you say out loud. Finally, presence is about making an impression without trying too hard. We can feel the difference between someone who is performing for approval and someone who is comfortable being themselves. Women are drawn to men who are authentic in their presence, men who can hold space, engage meaningfully, and create a sense of energy that's enjoyable and intriguing. When you master this, it doesn't just make you interesting. It makes women naturally want to be around you, think about you, and wonder what you'll do next. That's the subtle art of creating obsession, showing up fully, confidently, and authentically every single time. 7. Stop being average. How to ignite obsession. Let me be blunt. Most men are forgettable. You might be nice, funny, or reliable, but those qualities alone won't make a woman obsessed. Women are wired to notice energy, confidence, and authenticity first. Everything else is secondary. If you're playing it safe, blending in, or hoping that being polite and available will win her over, you're already behind. You need to step up, own your space, and understand that attraction isn't a checklist. It's a series of impressions, emotions, and instincts that you create, whether you realize it or not. Being average means you wait for opportunities instead of creating them. A man who takes initiative, who has clear passions and goals, and who isn't afraid to show what makes him unique, is the one women think about long after he's gone. Obsession isn't about manipulation. It's about being magnetic. That doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not. It means amplifying the qualities that already make you interesting, confident, and slightly unpredictable. Women are drawn to men who bring energy and depth to their presence because we instinctively sense that being around them is rewarding. Another thing men often miss is the power of challenge. Women don't want men who are too easy to please. We want someone who makes us feel alive, sparks our curiosity, and makes us invest emotionally because we feel like we're earning our place in his world. If you're too available or too accommodating, it removes tension, intrigue, and excitement, all the elements that build desire. Women love men who have boundaries, standards, and a life that doesn't revolve entirely around her. That's not arrogance, it's self-respect. And that self-respect, it's intoxicating. Finally, it's time for real self-reflection. Ask yourself, do you stand out or do you blend in? Do women remember you days later because of how you made them feel, or because you were just nice? If the answer is the latter, you have work to do. Stop assuming that charm alone will get her hooked. Start understanding what women actually respond to. Presence, energy, challenge, attentiveness, and authenticity. Own these areas, practice them, and you'll notice women thinking about you, seeking your attention, and wanting more without you needing to perform or change who you are fundamentally. That's how obsession is created, not with tricks, but with truth, confidence, and magnetic energy. Here's the honest truth. Being good enough isn't enough. Women aren't obsessed with men who blend into the background or play it safe. We're drawn to men who create a spark, who carry themselves with confidence, who notice us without overdoing it, and who challenge us in ways that feel exciting and real. Obsession doesn't come from looks, money, or clever lines. It comes from presence, energy, authenticity, and the way a man makes us feel alive, curious, and valued. If you're waiting for her to fall for you because you checked a few boxes, you're missing the entire point. Now, take a moment and reflect. How do you show up in your interactions with women? Are you magnetic, or just another face in the crowd? Are you creating moments that she thinks about long after they happen? Or are you waiting for her to notice you by chance? That reflection matters more than any tip or trick I could give you. The men who truly make women obsessed are the ones who understand the psychology behind attraction, but they also act on it with authenticity and confidence every single day. I want you to share your experiences in the comments. Tell me what's worked, what hasn't, and how women have responded to your energy and presence. I'll be reading your thoughts and engaging with you personally, because this isn't just theory, it's about real results. If you take these ideas seriously and start showing up differently, you'll notice a shift in how women perceive and respond to you. Step up, be present, and make her want you in a way that sticks.